Hello, this is Christoph from RDX Works, and I'm here with Tron and Chris from CaviarNine. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having us, Christoph.
Yeah, how's it going, Christoph?
It's very awesome. I'm really excited to finally have you here. Since you're one of the projects that already have a beta version, so to say, out that is fully functional, really, really amazing. So maybe you guys introduce yourself. What about Chris first?
Sure. Well, I'm Chris Coleman. I'm a Brit. I'm based out of Singapore. I've been around a long time. I spent I spent far too much time at university doing sort of physics and maths and computer science a long time ago. Then I spent about 20 years in investment banking and traditional finance, basically doing derivatives trading. And then about 5-6 years ago, I left that, and because I wasn't learning much, and I wanted to sort of get involved in new cool things. And particularly, one of those things was decentralized finance and crypto in general.
Sounds really awesome. For me, it's always interesting. When money making is not enough anymore, you just strive out to find new cool things. It's really awesome. So, Tron, what about you?
Yeah, hi. My name's Oliver. My middle name's Tron. That's where it comes from. So I'm similar to Chris, but a little bit younger, let's say. I've got a mathematics background, masters, whatever, and I went into finance. Lots of tier one banks doing derivatives trading, similar to Chris, through in London and Singapore. And in about 2000 and I think maybe 15, I left the finance industry after getting sort of bored of not learning enough and trying out new ideas. So I wanted to get into blockchain, and I wanted to get into machine learning and AI. And so I spent the next sort of 5-6 years working on that kind of stuff in finance, trying to find the sort of vein of all those three bits and pieces. And I ended up building stuff for Radix.
And
really
and actually we've known each other for like almost 20 years, I suppose, because our careers overlapped massively.
Would you say that's a good or a bad thing?
Oh, it's a great thing. It's great working with Chris. He's brilliant.
Awesome.
Yeah,
good to hear.
We wouldn't tolerate each other for 20 years if we didn't like each other.
Yeah. It's awesome. So obviously, you're very famous in the Radix community. Your product is very well known, and a lot of people are using it. So maybe you share a little bit. You got such a huge variety of products. Maybe what would you want to talk about?
I mean, our main stuff that we produced back on for the mainnet has effectively been the DEX and the aggregator, and of course Radix, which was sort of our filler before Babylon, and hopefully we can take it afterwards. But our initial offering was effectively to bring pools and to bring a place that people could swap tokens efficiently and make liquidity providing very capital efficient. Hence why we wanted to go for multi-token pools on single token staking and those kind of aspects. And then we realized with all the pools that we were making that we needed to sort of aggregate these things together. And this is a classic thing from TradFi, any kind of aggregator, effectively, pool all the sources of liquidity out there and bring them to one place. Just make the job so much easier. So that's kind of our mainnet stuff. Which has been great beta testing. It's been really fun, but it's kind of just sort of steps us up for our Babylon future stuff.
Yeah, I've been reading up on your blog before, so maybe you want to elaborate a little bit on the index pools. So did you have multi-token pools? So what's the benefit around them?
Sure.
Chris, you want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess the overarching thing, just in general, I would say first of all, is that so we're trying to build the future of DeFi on Radix. So what does that mean? So the idea is that we're trying to bring sort of flexibility and choice to people, and a range of opportunities for both traders and also for liquidity providers. So the way in which our ecosystem works is we have this sort of central point of access for traders, which is the aggregator, and that aggregates all of the sources of liquidity, different types of liquidity in our ecosystem, plus also external DEXs and sources of liquidity. But then, from the liquidity provision perspective, there's a whole range of ways that you can provide liquidity depending on your particular sort of preference for how you want to, whether you want it to be like via a limit, or whether you want it to be in a pool, or there's something that's coming out later today, whether you want to be able to sort of leave a concentrated range or have some kind of shape over your liquidity. So the whole ethos is that we're just providing lots and lots of choice. So index pools is kind of like one piece of that. I mean, Oliver, maybe you want to take up.
Yeah, no, I mean, index pools is it's a multi-token pool. You can't add or remove extra tokens from it, and like what we were doing on the mainnet, but you can you can add one liquidity token at a time, or the whole pools version of that. And you know, and it's the beautiful thing about liquidity pools and multi-token pools, and as we call it, index pools, is effectively that they can be differently weighted, those tokens inside the pool. So it allows you to create yourself a basket of goods, a basket of tokens that represents your risk tolerance or represents what you value in terms of having an index. And so therefore the liquidity tokens that come out of those index pools are therefore become very interesting to trade in themselves, because perhaps you've got a basket of just DEX tokens, or perhaps you've just got a basket of stable coins. And so those then liquidity tokens then represent or reflect that basket in itself.
Sounds everything really, really interesting and really amazing. One thing that I think is really worth mentioning is that you guys already committed to that in your aggregator, your DEX is not going to be favorably treated. That I found really impressive, to be honest. Really awesome.
Yeah, so absolutely. All liquidity competes on an equal playing field, you know. So we really want to give traders the best possible price on Radix.
Yeah, that's really impressive. So, what are the key milestones coming up for you right now, and when do you think you're going to go live?
Yeah, that's a great question. There's lots of unknowns. So looking at the speed of the RDX team and when they're fixing the odd bug that's coming up, we're pretty confident that we'll be able to be ready for Babylon day one. But with everything, we're not too sure about that. So we'll certainly be able to have the ag together that will be pooling a certain number of components or blueprints out there. We'll certainly have a bunch of liquidity methods or ways that users can provide liquidity, and another extra product hopefully we'll be able to deliver as well. But then the sort of over the first few weeks, maybe the first 4 weeks, we'll be able to fine tune those, tack them on, and really make sure that they all work perfectly. So yeah, we're in line. We're in line. Are we, Chris? I think.
Yeah, everyone's working
Awesome.
really hard. Everyone's powering away, whether it's the back end or front end. Or there's a huge amount of work being done. I mean, with the Babylon delay, obviously that's allowed us sort of more time to get everything polished. But also, you know, it means also we are building slightly more things than what we were building for the original end of July release as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be really, really exciting and interesting when we launch.
Awesome. So to wrap this up, where can the community find you?
Sure. Well, I guess the easiest way to find us would be on Telegram, which is CaviarXRD, or you can find us on Twitter, which is CaviarNine. We also have Discords, etc. But you can find all the details just by joining one of those channels.
Awesome. We're going to make sure that this is in the description of the video. This is Chris from RDX Works, here with Chris from Caviar and Oliver or Tron from Caviar. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.